When you think about the 80s, you've got to think about your shoulder pads, music, the leg warmers, mullets.
Walkmans. Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Yep.
Star Wars.
Thank you. Obviously, I've taught you well. Those are the good things, but also there's some really wacky old-school commercials.
Are you looking for the perfect husband? August Cosmopolitan examines men and their careers and tells who make the best husbands. Are you sexually assertive? Cosmopolitan explains when it's okay to make the first move.
Introducing Suado by Famille, an exquisite new fragrance soon to be released at the recommended retail price of $59.95.
Meet a construction worker worth $19,000 a year and the 20 women who've traveled to a chateau in France to compete for his heart. Why? They think he's worth $50 million.
I actually would watch that show again.
I don't know where to start. Aussie comedian David M. Green is taking us on a trip down memory lane, reviewing those ads with his hilarious web series, VHS Revue. We love this. He joins us from Melbourne. David, good morning.
Hey, David.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
So how did this all come about? Where did it start for you?
Well, I basically stole the idea from Tim Ferguson, who used to do a show 25 years ago called Unreal Ads. And he stole it from World's Greatest Commercials with Andrew Daddo. So it's a well-established format. It's been stolen by many people over a long period of time. But the difference is I take like a VHS tape, which I have one here if you've forgotten what they look like. Yeah. You know, usually it's 3 or 4 hours. I watch the whole thing. I cut it down to like the most interesting 10 minutes and put some jokes and some analysis in there, and that's a VHS review.
And you get all these commercials and TV idents that we all forget, like Still the One and stuff like that. Where do you find these videotapes from with all these old school ads on them?
Well, a lot of them are actually mine that I recorded myself when I was a teenager. I just never threw them out. But yeah, I get some from family, from friends, sometimes just like lying in the street on a hard rubbish day. You know, often people are just throwing them out. There's no shortage of tapes around the place.
There are about 17 boxes of them under my mum's house in Brisbane, ready to go, full of Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah, I'll look at some of those.
You know, people love nostalgic content right now, don't we? Why do you think it is? What's driving that fascination and obsession?
Well, Sylvia, I think times are bleak, and a lot of people, myself included, sometimes just want some sort of escape from our tedious, hopeless, pointless lives, and so we retreat to the familiarity and the comfort of our childhood.
Of the past.
Do you have a favourite commercial, David, that you've seen over the years?
I reckon the most interesting thing I've ever found was on a 1989 tape from the British Open, and it was an ad for Voca fax machines with former Australian Prime Minister Gough Whitlam in it. And at the end he has his tagline, "It's time, phone Voca," which just seems bizarre to me. I'd never heard of this before. It wasn't on YouTube before I uploaded it. And it's like I'm trying to think of the modern equivalent would be like if Scott Morrison was in an ad for McDonald's or something.
That's great.
Also, it's terribly lit. I'm from Adelaide. You have a lot of content there from Adelaide. It was classic in the 70s and 80s. I actually do need more winky-dink content from you, but that's a very deep, deep cut. Do you have any classic commercials from there that we can reminisce on?
Well, yeah, Winky Dink, it's slightly before my time. I haven't, I'm aware of it, but I haven't found any of that.
Winky Dink was a puppet that was a duck that was on someone's hand, which, by the way...
What else is it going to be on? What else?
It was a kids' TV show that was on in the afternoons, which I dare not say the title. But what do you like, David?
Well, yeah, I mean, Adelaide had some great ads. There were lots of sort of characters, often that like the owner of the business would be in the ad, which I always like. There was this place called Plant Liquidators. I don't know if you remember that. The guy would be in the ad, and I remember one time like the neighbouring business caught fire, and he did an ad where like he's got soot on his face and he's having a sale to celebrate the fact that his business did not burn down. It's absolutely shocking. But there's Mr. Bankrupt as well. I think we just saw a clip of that. He was absolutely insane, the most insane voiceover guy you can imagine. And we used to quote that a lot in the schoolyard to the annoyance of everybody. And the sort of peak Mr. Bankrupt era was like early 2000s, and then in the mid 2000s he rebranded as Mrs. Bankrupt's Dump House. And I've been trying to find an ad of that. I cannot find it anywhere online. If anyone from Adelaide has a mid-2000s tape with Mrs. Bankrupt's dump house on it, please send it to me somehow. I would love to see it.
It's a very
You'd be doing
strange
me a
request, I must say. Mrs. Bankrupt's dump house.
That's what this is for.
I think I've seen that on another website. Anyway, I think it's... Look, I'll send you some Winky Dink content, David, just to keep you up to date because you need more
Please
Adelaide
do.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You keep us very entertained. We appreciate you being here, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Oh, so great. Okay, to check out more of David's nostalgic VHS ads, follow him on Instagram. That's the site there on the screen. So
So funny.